And I think we would all agree after you hear these facts that it was only right to bring a claim against the bar owner, which again was something the family had not even thought of or considered to do. And I'm sad to say there are lawyers out there that may not take that extra step as well, but it's so important and it can drive the value of the case. And again, in this particular case, what had happened, this drunk driver had gotten, again, tanked up in the local bar, was eyewitnesses that were inside of the bar along with other documented paper documents were able to establish that he had been overserved in the bar, was loud, boisterous, acting aggressively inside of the bar, actually caused some damage in the bar, and just continued to be served alcohol. Literally walked out of the bar, got in his car, pulled out of the parking lot, and ran into this young student soldier. And so we were able to prove a dram shop case and successfully recover a confidential insurance policy limit settlement there as well. Now, another area that we're seeing more and more development in automobile wreck cases are phantom vehicles. What's known as a phantom vehicle. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what I'm talking about here. And first, in some of the phantom cases, it's best just to go ahead and immediately pursue an uninsured motorist coverage case. In other words, we represented a hardworking Alabama nurse that was in a collision in another state when a vehicle ran into her lane, causing a violent crash, prompting this hardworking nurse to need a neck surgery. So the phantom driver comes in when the driver of the other vehicle that ran into the nurse's lane, clipping her, again causing this violent collision, reported to the police that another vehicle actually ran her, pulled over into her lane, prompting her to make kind of an emergency move over into this nurse's lane. So in other words, she reported to the police, this other driver reported to the police, hey, it's not my fault. There was this car that ran me over, and they're actually responsible for it, but they kept going, and I didn't get a tag number. Now I've got a description, you know, it's a red, looked like maybe a 1999 or early 2000 model red Altima, okay? And so we made a strategic decision, rather than going into another state and litigating over the issue of whether or not this other driver was being honest and forthright about this phantom driver defense. We made a strategic decision that it would be best for our client to just go ahead and file a claim in Alabama for her uninsured motorist coverage. And if there was going to be any litigation around the truthfulness of this phantom driver, that it would take place in Alabama rather than having to go over to the other state where the wreck occurred and litigate around that issue. And really that strategic decision actually paid off for our client. It resulted in a very successful settlement. And again, one that we were very honored and proud of, to be able to work with this nice, hardworking family. Another example of a phantom vehicle type case is actually a nice elderly couple that we represented. And so in this particular case, it's best like in other cases, to expose the tortfeasor's lie. In other words, it's all just going to depend on the facts and circumstances. So in this particular case, the tortfeasor, in other words, the person that caused the wreck, actually rear-ended our clients, the elderly couple, or actually, caused her vehicle by, not paying attention, caused her vehicle to run into our client's vehicle. Well, she claimed that she was rear-ended by a phantom driver. And it was actually that collision that caused her to run into the back of our client's vehicle, or caused her vehicle to rear-end, run into the back of our client, this nice elderly couple. Now, so she claimed further that the vehicle fled the scene. In other words, they ran into the back of me, caused my vehicle to collide with their vehicle, got in the turn lane, and just kept going. So we were able to prove through conflicting testimony, along with eyewitness testimony to the wreck. I mean, we interviewed and took the deposition of eyewitnesses, and also were able to gather documents that showed that the tortfeasor, the lady that actually caused the wreck, gave conflicting stories. That, along with eyewitness and other documents, proved there actually was no phantom driver. So we were able to, again, expose this lie, which provides heat in the case that can drive value, add value, and help facilitate and push in the settlement. So product liability is another area that must be investigated and can drive value. It's in catastrophic injury and death cases when appropriate. Of course, again, this can drive value. I recall a case where Mr. B was on his way to work early one morning and was pushed into a guardrail to his tragic death, again pushed in by another vehicle colliding with his vehicle. Initially, it appeared that there was a delay in Mr. B